Hello.
How are you today?
Just getting started. So far so good.
Sweet. Well, welcome, everybody to the commentary zone at noontime edition. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. I already did it. Yay. Okay, so that's 2 days in a row that I remembered. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. Most importantly, tell a friend. Follow us on our live broadcasts on Twitter and on Twitch. Follow us on Instagram. Okay, welcome to TLC Tuesdays. I wasn't mad at either one of these shows.
Oh, what is wrong with these people? I don't understand what is wrong with these people.
Everybody trying hard to get their own spinoff. It's
They
sad.
are working overtime.
It's sad. And then, like, oh, I'm having a heart attack. I was like, really? Are you? Are you?
I was like, what's going on here?
Oh, okay. And Angela is 55 years old and trying to tote something.
I mean, the only thing she should be toting is luggage at this point. I'm sorry, and I'm not trying to be rude, but it is what it is at this point.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so let's do 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After season 6 episode 15. Time does not heal all wounds. Which one of these messes you want to start with first?
Let's just start with Yara and Joey since they weren't really prominent in this episode. To me, they
Okay.
were kind of forgettable.
Yeah. This is the aftermath of the strip club night. Jovi slept in a different room. Mama Gwen came over and said, "Tell him no, and you grow up and give me the baby, and y'all actually talk to each other and get it sorted out." I do admire her for acknowledging that Yara proved her wrong, and that it might
Yes,
be Jovi who wasn't ready.
ready. Mm-hmm.
You know, what else about them? They went down to the beach, but I really don't think that they were talking, but I don't think that they're coming down from their stances. Like they're not compromising. And I'm not saying she should be going to a strip club if that's not what she's comfortable with,
Right.
but I think Jovi has more of a compromise to make because he isn't single anymore. He shouldn't be wasting all of his money on a bachelor club when or a strip club when he has a baby. Um, like you work for at least a month at a time away from home. I would think you would want to spend time with your family, not at the strip club.
But he just wants to be single and married at the same time. I think that's the crux of his issue.
But that's not marriage unless you
He
got
just
one of
wasn't
those
married for marriage.
arrangements.
He just wasn't ready for marriage. I mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. He was not ready for marriage. And
Mm-mm.
it's a shame. And I think she figured he would once the baby came, he would actually kind of like just slide in. I'm like, well, do you not know who you married? He
I
wants to
don't
be
think
he
so.
wants to be a party boy. He
Well,
wasn't ready.
he keeps on describing her as this party animal when they were together before the wedding.
Right,
Um,
but there was no baby though, and there was no marriage. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, so you can go out there acting a fool if you want to.
and he
But
only saw her on breaks
yeah,
and took her traveling, so it was like a vacation thing, not
every
a
time.
permanent girlfriend. You know what I mean?
Right.
Christoph said, "I wasn't mad at Jovi. I must be seeing things differently." Mm.
It's not about being mad. It's not really that we're mad. It's more what it is that if she didn't want to go to the strip club, then she shouldn't have just said, okay, I'll go. And then she just became insecure and wanted to leave, and that's pretty much what it all really is. And he really wants to be able to be married but live a single life. Like go out
Mm.
and party, do his thing, hang with his friends, do the strippers, and she's more like she really is more like a grandma. She wants to be married at home on the couch with the baby and her husband watching like old movies or something.
Wait, what? Governor Andrew Cuomo just resigned.
Oof.
Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, this is what I get for looking at news things on my phone. All right, so and Trey agrees with you. He won't be married and live the single life at the same time. That's ugh. And Susan has a point. At least they did not fight. They spoke.
Hmm.
Um, I think they need to. At this point, I think they need like some professional person, like a therapist or some sort of life coach or something in there to, or a marriage counselor to
Yes.
help both of them communicate to each other and see each other's point of view. Because I really don't like how he's always telling her that she's boring, that, or what does she say, a old human being. Like that's how she's taking it.
Yes.
And it's not that she's a fuddy duddy or anything like that. It's just that she's taking on her responsibilities more seriously because she's there full time, 100% being a mother.
Hmm.
And he goes and comes. And it's not bad because it's for work, but I don't know. I just figured that if he's not there 100% of the time, when he is there, he would want to be there and not out partying. That's just how I'm thinking about it. Okay, I think
Yes.
he doesn't live like they're 70. They are still so young and need to enjoy their family and each other, but they're not. I agree with that. But how he wants to enjoy being young, I think, is different than how she wants to enjoy being young. She's willing to leave the baby with Gwen and go out and have a couple's meal with him, but I don't think that she's into the strip thing with him. And he should
Mm-mm.
be sensitive to that because she's a new mother. Is her body 100% again? That could be playing into her insecurities as well. Um, Hi guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anything else with them?
With them, no, not with them. It's just this, but we kind of saw this earlier, in like when they first got together on their last season. You could see this dynamic happening, and it's come to fruition.
Hmm. Okay. But I think they can work through this. I really do. I
Oh
think
yeah,
they
most
actually love
definitely.
each other. And I think with Gwen's support, I think they can work through it. Um, it is what it is. We'll see them next season. Whatever. Who's next?
You choose this one.
You want to do Angela and Michael just to get them over with? Because they didn't have much either.
Yeah.
It was just Angela and Skyla going to, I think it was a fertility clinic to find
Right.
out about the IVF and getting egg donation and all of that. Um, Angela's 55 and really should not be doing this. I don't think she wants to do it because she just got her body sorted out and then to carry a baby. And then she would be an older mom if she chose to do this. And then the doctor brings up a really good thing. Like, that would be your kid, grandkid, and Skylar's sibling, niece, nephew. Like, it's really complicated how that whole family tree is going to work out.
Yep.
And besides, Skylar is still saying no. So why are we doing this?
Yeah. Why didn't Skylar even go? She should just stuck to her guns and just be like, I'm not doing this. You even you going to um the clinic gives them some sort of hope, which is not fair, even though you're saying no.
The doctor said this could cost like around $100,000. So what?
Yeah, and it may
Wow.
not. Hold on, and it may not even work.
That's true.
So,
And then the risk to Skyla doing the shots to get the egg harvesting, right?
hmm
That could mess her up medically. Like there's a lot that goes into this that I don't think Angela thought about. I think she goes into a lot of medical procedures not really investigating it or
Yes.
really taking the time to really think about the repercussions.
No, and I go back to the very beginning. She should just never married Michael in the first place. I'm sorry. I stand by that because um you knew he wanted to be a father, and for both of them to even go through this is just ridiculous, which makes it seem like this is just for TV, which is annoying.
Okay, so Trey has a very good point. If she can't quit smoking for her desired elective surgery, what makes her think she could put the cigs down to tote a baby in an antique oven? Now, you know, in Angela's head, when she had her children, she smoked throughout. So she's just thinking she can do it again.
Hmm.
So, ciao. I don't know. I think they need to give this up. The only
Hmm.
revelation here that we got was that Michael's sperm is viable. So hip hip hooray. I think if she was going to marry Michael, she should have agreed to allow him to take on another wife to have the baby that he wanted, knowing fully well that you were not capable of reproducing at your age. Fair is fair.
Exactly. Like I think everyone was like, just let him have a second wife so she can have the kids. And my
Mm-hmm.
thing is, your wife number one and wife number two can birth the kids and take care of them and do all that good nice stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So Crazy Cat Mama thinks that the visit to the clinic may have been a scripted thing. Toting a baby always makes Kristoff laugh. Quit the relationship. Oh, Farmata agrees with you. They should just quit the relationship and let Michael be free and live his life.
Yeah,
True.
because it's just a waste. And this is just my opinion. It's just a waste of time for both of them. Like Angela, you're like in your 50s, like you're getting healthy. You should be able to enjoy the rest of your life and doing the way things you want to do. Plus, you're already
Mm-hmm.
raising, helping raise your six grandchildren. Then you
Mm-hmm.
have Michael. Like Michael should be free to have the children he wants to have.
Mm. I don't know. Somehow it's not clicking for me. It's not adding up. I feel like this is part of the agreement that she had with Michael, just to get longevity on television. It'll be one issue
Hmm.
after another with her and Michael, and he's signed on for this.
Yes, I can see
I
that.
wouldn't be,
I'm not.
yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if there aren't Michael Juniors or Michaela Juniors somewhere at home.
I will say this, and people may not agree, but I would not be shocked if he already has another wife back in Nigeria. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
shocked. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that he's what, early 30s, almost mid 30s, like, and
Mm-hmm.
plus the family pressure. You'd be hard pressed to convince me that he doesn't have another wife or he has children, and we're just not seeing them.
Yep. And I find it hard to believe that the women in his family who he had to go through the approval process for would seriously think that Angela at her age back then could reproduce.
Right.
She had to be around the same age as his mom.
Hmm.
If mom can't do it, like seriously, I don't know. I don't know. But I think their story has been scripted since after their first season. Yeah, Christoph, you've got a good point. You've got a good point. It smells scripty. I ain't gonna lie.
But we can't sit here and play pretend like we all didn't say this, like from the
Mm-hmm.
gate though,
Mm-hmm.
because kids is one of those things that's a hard line in the sand. It's like if you guys can't agree on kids and how to have children, you don't get married. Because the marriage won't last because the person who wants to have children will always resent the person who doesn't want to have children.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything more with them?
With them, nah.
Tiffany and Ronald?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the aftermath of their argument in the parking lot after their couples counseling, right?
Right.
Last week we saw her refusing to get in the car with him. We see her going into I don't know. It looked like a lobby of somewhere, like a hotel or something, but I guess not. And she's sitting down and talking to someone from production. He is still, mumbling in the car, being all caught up in his feelings. He goes in and he just starts like asking her, like, what's so funny? Because he saw her laughing with somebody who was asking her a question or whatever. I don't know. He's just really getting caught up in a cycle of anger that I'm not really understanding. And I'm not really liking this side of Ronald.
Yeah, he's very misogynistic, and it's ridiculous at this point. I'm just gonna say it like that because he refuses to own any of his wrongdoing and how he plays a part into this disintegration of this relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, Tiffany had all the red flags. She saw them all, and she still married him. And
Mm-hmm.
then you still married him with all his red flags and issues, and then you want to dump on him for not being who you want him to be. I'm like, well, based on the red flags and based on what you saw and what you knew,
Mm-hmm.
your expectations were set way too high, and I blame them both.
Well, okay, so she refuses to go with him after he comes in and is like, basically, why are you laughing? Da 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 da. He gets in the car and he goes. She gets production to drive her back to his place, which I thought was mistake number one.
Yes.
She walks in and he's like, what you doing here? What? He basically is like pulling the power move and she let him do it. And then she
Mhm.
stays there. I would have never stayed there by myself. Like, thank God
Mm.
the kids are over at his mom's house. And
Right.
then that mess that he was talking on the floor of the living room. And why does he have so many cameras up in that house? You
Right.
notice that monitor
Yes.
was like full of cameras, surveillance cameras? That was just odd to me. Um, when he got her luggage and threw it and said go, and then he was like, I'm keeping my kids. What plural kids do
Right.
you have?
Yeah. I was like, you've lost your mind.
And another thing too, how many of y'all in the chat think that Tiffany put Ronald's name on the little girl Carly's birth certificate? Here's why I ask. If she doesn't have a father listed on the birth certificate, she can get government assistance. And he's overseas. He couldn't sign off on it. Like, I'm just thinking that maybe and I wouldn't have put his name on the birth certificate. And here's why. Because she knew in the back of her mind from then that things were problematic between them.
Right.
I would not want an international custody fight. So I would say, well, he's not here. He can't sign it. I'm not putting his name on it. I would use that as my excuse and hedge my bets.
Right. Because you, like I said, this go to me. I'm gonna normally I would say that's sneaky and wrong, but in this particular situation with all the red flags that we've seen, I'm not mad at this thought process. I'm not, and because he wasn't
Don't
doing
be mad.
anything, he wasn't doing anything before, and he's not doing anything now. That's a
In
concern.
most states, dad would have. Okay, so it is still true. Okay, so all right, so Christoph is thinking about it. Good, good, good. All right, in most states, the dad would have to sign the birth certificate, married or not. See, I remember back when my nephew was born 30 plus years ago, I remember my brother having to sign something, but I don't know, like I've never had a kid and I don't know what it is now. So okay. Oh, I've never thought of that. Maybe no, because they weren't married yet. And she was thinking, well, she had the baby technically when they were married, but she came back to the States to give birth, you know? No. So I'm thinking if his and if a dad is on the birth certificate, it makes it a little bit harder to get government assistance. And maybe that's the help that he keeps on talking about, not just her mom. He feels like if she's getting government assistance, why should he help? I don't know. This is all the things that I was thinking about when I was watching their stuff yesterday.
So I'm looking at them now. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this question, like in which states do you have to sign the birth certificate. So it does vary state to state.
What about Massachusetts? She's in Massachusetts. Can you look it up by Massachusetts?
Let's see.
The exception would be for the military. Oh, he has no legal claim to the child. Well, not yet. He would have to go through like a paternity test or something, and that would be very, very expensive with him fighting from South Africa. But what scared me the most was he was saying plural, kids, like he has some claim on Daniel. Daniel has a biological father, and it's not him. I can't remember whether the father is deceased or living. He passed away.
I think Daniel said passed away.
Okay, but then he has not adopted Daniel, so he still has no legal claim on that child. What is he thinking of doing? That's like kidnapping. Girl, get your kids from his mama house and run to the airport. Yes, Susan, I hate how he says that too, because it's real cray-cray. Real cray-cray, very disturbing. And he says it to me as if he's trying to punish Tiffany for what she's doing to him.
So they were married, right?
Yeah, in South Africa.
Oh, it doesn't say. So it says does the father have to sign the birth certificate in Massachusetts? A special form acknowledgement of parentage at birth allows the birth registrar to list the father on your baby's birth certificate at the time the baby was born. The mother must be unmarried and both parents must sign acknowledgement and provide identification for the birth registry.
There may be a loophole, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She was smart to come back to the States and have that baby. Yep, she was. She was
taking no chances because she knew what she was dealing with.
I think she knew the red flags were there. She messed up by marrying him in the first place, and that was her fail-safe to come back to the States, have the baby here, and I don't know, prepare for what was to come. Hey, Kelly Swat. Okay, their marriage wouldn't be considered legal in the U.S. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? She legally got married in South Africa. If they filed their documents in South Africa with the registrar or whatever, it's a legal marriage.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I just looked that up. Just to be sure.
Her dad is in New Jersey, Susan. Sorry, Jamal. Sorry.
It's okay. It says the United States has no national registration of marriages, foreign or domestic. United States recognized marriages performed in other states and in other countries. If your marriage was legally performed in the country or state where you got married, then the marriage is recognized in the United States.
Yeah, as long as it has a legal seal from that country, that marriage certificate is legally binding here. It's legal in South Africa, not United States. Nisi, that marriage is. So you mean to tell me if you're married here and you move to a foreign country, then your marriage isn't recognized?
No, that's not what it
works
says.
Both ways.
That's not what it says. It says this is from Google. Because it says people also ask, are foreign marriages recognized in the U.S.? And it says the United States has no national registration of marriages, foreign or domestic. The United States recognizes marriages performed in other states and in other countries. If your marriage was legally performed in the country or state where you got married, then the marriage is recognized in the United States.
I doubt, Ronald. This is another issue here, Nisi, with what Crazy Cat Mama said. Sorry, Nikki.
It's Nikki.
Oh.
Nikki. That's Nikki. Yeah.
It's Nikki?
It's
okay,
Nikki.
My apologies, Nikki. So if he didn't file that paperwork to get the official stamp, then it's not recognized. See, that in a former life that I did, I booked weddings for hotels, in the Caribbean, and this is always a thing. You know, one of my clients was an FBI agent, and she needed 2 extra copies of her marriage certificate to file with the FBI. If the FBI takes a foreign marriage certificate from, where was I for that marriage? Cayman Islands, it's recognized.
So
Yeah.
typically, what happens when they're not recognized is when like they're like spiritual weddings. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
something like that, where there's
If
no
there's no
government involved.
legal, yeah, if there's no legal paperwork, a symbolic wedding, like before we had legal gay marriage here, lots of gay couples used to do, symbolic weddings. Kind of like the equivalent of a vow renewal, just not legal. You're just saying words to each other. There's no certificate issued or anything like that unless you printed it out on your own printer and that's it. It's just between y'all. But yeah, I wonder if he even filled out the paperwork. That's another question
That's
too.
another thing.
Yeah, because anyway, that's just Ronald and her business. I'm done with them. I hope she gets her kids and gets the hell out of there. Case closed. All right, so who's next? We have Asuelu and Kalani, Elizabeth and Andre, and Natalie and Mike.
I don't think Natalie and Mike, 'cause I don't care about them.
I don't either. She had more affection for that damn rat than she did for him. She came and got her clothes. Juliana is so weird. I would have pissed out in a ditch before going into that man's house and asking him to use his toilet. And then she gonna go and give him the most awkward hug ever. The cat was going through some sort of fit. Like, I don't even know what's going on there. That was just odd. Warehouse wedding because their overseas one isn't recognized or the Spencer Heidi. Okay, in Mexico, you have to jump through hoops in Mexico to have a legal marriage there, including blood tests, doctor's paperwork, and all of that. And that's why a lot of people who go to Mexico to get married will go to the courthouse in the US first and then have a symbolic marriage in Mexico because it's just too much. That's how I used to sell against Mexico when in any other country that I was selling wedding groups to. They asked for a lot for a legal marriage. But if you do get married in Mexico and have a certified marriage document and bring it back here, it is a valid marriage. But a lot of people just don't want to go through all that mess. Yeah. So that's what that is, Nikki. Lord have mercy, I was going to say
I will
it
say
again.
this. I think what it is that what reality TV does is they use that as a storyline, but then they don't give you the full details because they think you won't look it up. In these situations, we look it up just to be sure we know what we're talking about.
And that's why a lot of people think that Kenya Moore isn't married, but she is. She got married in St. Lucia. I saw her marriage certificate with the stamp on it. She's married. She's married.
I
She
think
just
I
didn't
have it
file it anywhere other than
right.
St. Lucia.
I have a feeling what people do is people forget to look for the seal, and probably if the marriage is not recognized, it's because there's no seal. I would bet money on that.
Hold on. What are we saying about? Are we sure it was a valid legal marriage? Who crazy cat mama? Just crazy mess. Yes, they are, and more hateful by the minute, in my opinion. Juliana looks like she's auditioning to be Chris Angel's magician assistant. She just looks like a lost hippie. I don't know. Good luck to them there. And I agreed with Mike what he said. She's Juliana's problem now. Okay. He took a shot and he was done with it, Did you find that Natalie was just making a lot of things like she wasn't happy. He doesn't listen to her. Like it was all about her.
She's always been that way though, so I'm not surprised.
Okay.
This is nothing new.
Okay. Mike said that he doesn't feel like Natalie loved him. And it hurts him to say that. And then Natalie and Juliana drives off. Okay.
Right? There you go.
Yeah.
Mystery solved.
Okay. Anything else with them?
No, not at all.
Elizabeth and Andre or Kalani and Asuelu?
Kalani and Asuelu.
Okay. It's the day after everything that went down with the fight with his family. He talks about it with Kalani's mom and Kalani. He feels bad that it went down the way that it did. But
Well, yeah, you had to throw your mama and sister out. I mean, like physically, like
I
that doesn't feel
know,
good.
I know. Okay. Oh, between Ronald and Tiffany. Okay. I didn't watch when they got married in South Africa. Oh, okay. And Natalie had no intention of ever staying with him. It's always about getting to the U.S. You know what? I agree with that, Christoph, but I feel like they had an agreement to get her to the US and
Right.
help him pay down his debt. I've
Yes.
always said that. Um, Kalani's mom drops a bombshell. They're selling the house in Utah so that she can move closer to California to be closer to Lowe. Because I guess he works in California, but she don't want to live in California, just closer. So can't they move with her? Just saying. I mean, it's not like her kids are in school yet. It's just very weird. Asuelo goes to a smash room with his friend Tui so that they can release some stress. Tui, this advice that Tui gives him, I'm not in agreement with. Why are you going to take an American girl who is of Samoan heritage back to live in Samoa?
Mm-mm.
And saying because there's no bills there, you grow your own food and da 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 da. But why is your mother begging you for money since day one if there's
Right.
no bills?
And there's no bills. Why did you have a job?
Exactly. Like, how do you think you get your house? You got to buy materials to build it. How do you think you get the seeds to plant your own food? You got to buy it from the plants. Like, I don't even know. He doesn't make any sense. He lives in a strange little la la land that I have never visited, nor do I have any intentions of.
I mean,
They need
you
to
know
find a
my
better
feelings.
script.
I've never cared for him anyway. It's just he's just, and it's not. This is not to be rude,
Mhm.
but he's extremely slow on the uptake. He is, and it's annoying. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, he has no concept of reality. Like, how does he get through life? I mean, I'm really, and this is not even a derogatory question because if you see how he speaks,
Mhm.
there's a delay in between thought and speech. So I'm like, well, no, I don't get it.
Could that be though? The like he's thinking in Samoan, translating it in his head, and then trying to talk it out in English. Could we give him that benefit of the doubt? Maybe.
But it's not like he's fresh off the boat though. He's been here for a little bit. Because remember, he was enrolled in college. So you're
He
not
was
going to
enrolled
tell
in
me.
college where?
I think it was here.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but let me look this up real quick to make sure I'm not remembering this incorrectly.
If he could actually keep his attention on the kids and not his video games. Yes, crazy cat mama and Trey. Yep. I think he spent a lot more time on the video games than doing stuff to improve himself. Okay, I don't want to sound mean, I promise. Do you think he does baby talk on purpose? Tammy doesn't talk like that. Tammy been here for a while though. Um I think that you might have a point here, Christoph. I think he has created a character of himself to market on Cameo and all the other platforms that he's on. Um, that seems to garner him fans and donations. She'll stop using her boy's breastfeeding. It's not how true Mormon woman acts at all. But is she still Mormon though? Is she still Mormon? I didn't think she was. I think that's what they were when they were little, but I don't think she's that now. And besides, both of them kids should be weaned by now. If they're walking and they got teethuses, I don't know why you want them latched onto your teat. It's a good idea.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe we think he was college age, but I could have swore that he went. They said he went to college and he dropped out. I really could have sworn that. I apologize if I were wrong. If I was wrong.
College of shucking coconuts. I don't know. Her parents are doing the best thing to save their own marriage, which should be a top priority. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But someone said earlier she should go back to nursing and let him stay at home and take care of them kids if you don't want to go out and work and provide for your family. Case closed. Like, nurses are in demand right now. Go and use your trade. Okay, she claims to be a Mormon crazy cat mama. Oh dear. I know she's made references to when they were little, but oh well. Yeah, if she is Mormon, that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. It would help though if she would buy an outfit that was actually in her size. Part one. First step. Anything else with her?
I think with her, she's going to have to be the one to make a decision. Because we can see this relationship is not working. It's not, to me, it's not going to get any better. So she needs to make a decision because she's still young, so she still has a good bit of deal life ahead of her, and she needs to think about that she want to be solid with him because he's never going to grow up. I'm sorry, he's never going to be the man that
her dad is.
Yeah.
She does agree to go to visit Samoa for 1 to 2 months, but not living there. She agrees to learn the language, and she agrees to allow for the boys to learn about their heritage and I guess the language as well. I think this is just a setup to get them another season, maybe on the other way, if they're going to be there for 1 to 2 months. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, it is what it is. Who they gonna live when they go there though? They're gonna go and live with Low family? Because God knows I wouldn't be taking them in Asuelu's camp. That's what I thought about that because when she was there previously, she stayed at a hotel. So when you go back for this prolonged visit, where are you staying? Just want to know. Okay, so next, Elizabeth and Andre. Oh my God. I have one question for you, Jamal. When they broke up the fight and Andre went outside and he flashed open his shirt, how do you have a pot belly and muscles on top of the pot belly at the same time? Did anybody see that, or is my TV going wonky with Andre's belly?
He's not as muscular as he. So what it is that he's one of those people who is a kid. So when they met, he has 6-pack. So he's one of those people when he gains weight, it doesn't, it's not equally distributed. He carries weight all in his belly area, and if you drink alcohol, specifically beer, from what I understand, beer just goes straight to your belly as well. That's why I call it a beer gut.
Pay for that. It must be TLC because they have no money for that. They got money. They got lots of money. They got a YouTube channel. They cameo thing. They get money.
Yeah, they do really well on Cameo, from what I understand.
Because they use that cameo money to support his family back home.
Yeah,
Um,
if you guys check out Max, the celeb talk guy, he has a video about that, if I recall. Let me
Hi,
double
Jen.
check. Let me double
And
check.
did you think the fight was real between Andre and Charlie?
They don't like each other, so I would say it's real. To be honest, because you're not gonna let somebody put hands on you. I'm sorry, I don't care who you. We don't do those type. We don't play those type of games.
Oh my
So
God.
I would
So,
say this one,
mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
That,
They living with the parents for a plot line. That's my opinion. Crazy cat mama. Um. Okay, so everybody assembles over to Chuck's house. He's cooking up some burgers. Um. I don't understand. You want to pick up from when Charlie gets there and says, "Call the cops."
right? Charlie just came in being a jackass. Um. So that's one thing. That's when Andre told him to sit down, and then Charlie snapped back. Andre got up, and Charlie put his hands on me. I'm like, see, that's what you don't do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when you don't have no hands and really can't fight, you don't put your hands on other people. You don't put
But
your hands on other people.
he took him down.
Oh yeah.
Andre took him down. That was like some like power move wrestling Olympic style takedown thing that he did. But you saw how Charlie wife came up in there and started doing sucker punches.
Yeah, we dragged her too.
I didn't like her at all during any of this because I thought she was just all the way over the top aggressive. She was, when they were trying to settle everything down, she's tried to start up again. She was like all shouting in Chuck's face. Like, I don't even get, like, who is this girl? I
Yeah, when she
mean,
did that, I'm like, oh, you weak. You weak. You weak for that.
what'd
You
you
don't
think
suck
about
up.
Chuck having a heart attack during all of this?
He used to call Erica Jane for lessons.
Oh my God. Blavi, we're not going to do a link today because we're running long and I have a hard cutoff today. I'm sorry, but we can discuss on either Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
Those are the days that we can drop the link. Okay. I'm sorry. Um, this was just a mess, but they were trying their best auditioning for a spinoff. They were doing the Family Chantal playbook of trying to get a spinoff with a fight, multiple fights. Um, I think this was very staged. I do have a question. Who was that large black gentleman who was splitting up?
I thought he was production. That's what I assumed it was. Cause he had an
Really?
earpiece in,
But production has security there, so they knew this was going to happen.
or maybe he called Giselle and got the number for her security. I don't know.
I don't know. This was just this. I didn't believe Chuck's crying. I Chuck
No,
did nothing to settle this down
nope.
except to threaten Andre and said, if you hit Charlie, our business is done. And then I swear I heard Andre saying that he's getting rid of all of her siblings from the company and it's just going to be him and Chuck. How are you doing this? This is not your company, Andre. He makes no blinking sense to me whatsoever. So I was just angry at everybody. Thomas is getting into his feelings, saying that he is not associating with this family anymore. All of them are wrong. But 5 minutes before that, he was taking Andre's side. Like,
Right.
pick a lane, Thomas, pick a lane. You and your stupid wife, Becky. Jennifer, Jen, she she actually says that her brother is toxic. That's interesting. And who was it who said to Chuck that he needs to make sure that Charlie gets the help that he needs?
I thought that was Thomas.
Thomas. Okay. All right. Yes. Because he says Charlie's a psycho.
That was crazy, you know. You just come in like and just that was just for no reason.
He was there for his fight specifically.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I'm gonna go with that because he was just there to do the fight. That's the only because you know that Charlie only shows up to fight if you really look at it. All his things.
Because they've kept them separated for the entire season. You notice that.
Right.
So they kept it for the last episode. Big fight, ding, ding, ding. And they had security there as a
And then
backup.
and I want to say this. Um, Becky and Jen need they behind speed. Here's why. You gonna let your sister-in-law hit your sister and not jump her?
Yeah, because one of them was saying that that what's she name? Libby got scratched. That Megan
Yeah.
scratched her.
Yeah, like yeah, but y'all didn't jump her, and she did it. And she did it in your daddy's house, and
But
y'all didn't jump her.
But even that, the way how Megan was talking to Chuck in his house, like you allowed her to do that without saying nothing.
Y'all was supposed to jump her like just then and there. Period.
Oh my God. I was hoping the sisters all three ended up in the pool. I think production gave them instructions. Do not go into the pool with our battery packs on because those are several $1,000s and y'all ain't worth it. So it was just a interesting but semi well choreographed show.
Now I'm gonna tell you what would have happened. Now in my culture, I'm going to speak from my culture. Now there is no way, as an in-law, you have any rights. Second, you're not gonna speak to nobody's parent out of pocket in their house. Third, the moment you decide to swing on assembly, the other siblings are going to jump you, and it's not going to even be a question. You just gonna get jumped, dragged, and banned from everybody's house, and there might be a divorce waiting for you the next day. I'm just saying.
It was odd. It was odd, but they did their jobs. Kudos to the family. TLC, do not give them a spinoff. We are not interested. And Jamal, I'm not watching it.
They're not interesting enough. I mean, because unless you're going to give us a deep, dark secrets of how you scam, I don't care.
Okay, so we've gone through everybody on Hot Mess. What was it?
90 Day.
Yeah, 90 Day. I can't even see.
Supposedly, 90 Day, supposedly happily ever after.
Time does not heal all wounds. This was the season finale. Next week and the following week, we will get the tell-all where Angela is trying to blind the entire audience with her tatas. I am not excited. Okay, so let's go on to You, Me, and My Ex, season 1, episode 7, Hot Mess Express. Who do you want to hit first? I mean, not hit, but deal with first.
Let's deal with what's it? The New Jersey peoples.
Okay, Wendy, Jimmy, Lisa, Jack. They finally get to Boca and they do the surprise thing, and they're still stretching out this big stupid secret.
Right.
Is Dominic adopted? Like, I don't even know anymore. I
said this before. If it's not him having a baby on you, I don't care. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm going to be disappointed when this comes.
It's going to be something stupid.
He has the party, and we start off with the conversation. Jimmy gets really upset with Lisa. He's not taking part in it. He said that's not what he agreed to when they were looking at the pictures in the box back in Jersey. and he walks away, and we're left hanging yet again. It was a waste of time. Um,
Totally.
anything else with them?
No, because you could just feel the disappointment coming.
Mm-hmm. Who's next?
Let's
Alex,
do
Caroline, Steven, Danielle, Josh,
Alex,
Jennifer, Chantel.
Alex, Caroline, Steven. Well, actually,
Alex,
Alex, Steven, Caroline.
right. He's meeting with Steven to, try to establish some boundaries.
Right.
This was emotional.
Well, they were together for a minute, and it's like it was just weird. You could just tell they were really, really had a connection. And this is why I said, like, I'm sorry, Caroline, you're a nice girl, but you're a placeholder. Because
Mm-hmm.
If Steven had told Alex, I'm ready to be with you, he'd have dropped her. He'd have dropped
Yeah.
her. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Mm-mm.
Uh,
You can't tell me otherwise.
yeah. But Steven, agrees somewhat, but he says he never thought that he would have been with a woman, and he thought that, I guess, over time their relationship would have like rekindled or something.
Right.
um but Alex says he'll always be there for him, but it was the closure that he needed, and he's going to go and propose to Caroline, or he's going to propose to Caroline.
Hmm.
Oof. Okay, that should be interesting.
It
I
really
won't.
should, because I felt more from Steven and Alex than Alex and Caroline. And for me, that's a red flag. Like the type of emotion that they had and the type
Mhm.
of bond they had, I could feel that. I don't feel that between Alex and Caroline.
I can see that. I can see that. Okay, anything else with them?
Nope.
Okay, so we have Danielle, Josh, Jennifer, Chantel, or Kay, Jerry, and Jessica.
The Danielle group.
The Danielle group. This didn't make sense to me. I don't know why they have the need to go everywhere and announce um, where all of Josh's seed is spread.
That was weird.
And why do
That
they
was
need to
weird.
go out and have a last hurrah before Chantel drops this baby? And it seems like Danielle and Jennifer are like two party people. Like
Yes,
they should be together. Don't it feel like
exactly.
they? I don't know if there's a flirtation between those two. Josh better watch it. Just saying.
Those two, like, we really didn't like each other because we didn't know each other. And we got
Mhm.
to know each other, we became friends. Because we're like, oh, she likes to party. Okay, we're cool. I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm all for having a good relationship with your ex, and ex's new spouse. If you have children, that's
Mhm.
great. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
But y'all should not be going out partying and leaving your spouses at home, especially when one of the spouses is pregnant.
I don't know. They irritated me so last night.
I
TMI,
didn't like
nobody
it. Oh,
asked.
what?
No, look at what Trey says. Oh my God, they irritated me so bad last night. TMI, nobody asked. It's almost like she's looking for outside approval or validation on their decision. See, it came
Yeah,
across to me like she was only doing it for the shock factor so that she could get her
exactly.
goodie off of seeing people's reaction to their unique family situation.
Exactly. I was like, why are you guys announcing this? Because I was listening to it, but I was doing something else. I'm like, oh, they met with a group of friends. This is cool, and they were explaining the situation in full detail. But
Mm-mm.
when I saw that these were just like bar patrons, I'm like, I'm like,
Randoms at a bar.
right,
It was weird to me. And I can see why it would upset Chantel. And then I could also see why it would upset Josh because everybody looking at Josh like, dude, what are you doing? Ew.
it was
It's
so.
just
I'm
a
sorry, it wasn't
mess.
just me. Like, 'cause I just complete I felt that whole scene was out of context. Like it just
Mm-hmm.
didn't belong in the show because I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was good with it when I thought they were meeting friends at a bar to like, like,
Yeah.
hey, just so you guys know, this is the full context, blah blah blah. But when I saw it said bar patrons, I was like,
Yep.
randoms.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Anything else with that quadruple?
Mm-mm.
All right. On to Kay, Jerry, and Jessica. I thought this was filler.
Yeah, it
And
was.
then, you know, she's leaving, she's leaving, she's leaving. And by the end of the segment, she's going to the cabin so he could get his rocks off without Jessica looking. I did not like this.
Mm-mm.
You
Mm-mm.
should have kept your mama coming to pick you up if you ever
Yes.
called her, which I don't believe she called her.
But here's the thing with Kay. My issue is this: you let him quote unquote sweet talk you back in, and you going back with to know he can keep doing this to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is for me. I'm like, He know he got you on a string. He know he can do whatever he wants, and you'll come back because the
Yeah.
cabin.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing. Here's what I would do if I were her. She's not playing this correctly. Here's what you do. You say like, you know what? Like since you need Jessica here, how about we do this? We have all of our best times at the cabin. How about I just live at the cabin and you come see me when you have the time. And then what? Then when he doesn't come up, you have you some other men's lined up on the side. That's how you do it.
I think that's how it's going to evolve into because I don't know unless he's visiting every day.
Right.
And even so, he can't be there every day because according to
Right.
Jessica, his medical
Mhm.
condition, oh my goodness. But you could get it up to drill a hole in decay. What medical condition? What? Girl, bye. At this point, Jessica looks homeless and is trying to keep a roof over her head and using this situation to her best advantage. And Kay, you just dumb. I would have left, but I guess you need a paycheck to help. I don't know, fulfill this fantasy of his of having two women in two separate homes. Good for you, Jerry.
Okay. Listen to me. If you watch this show, watch this. Listen to me. Offer to stay in the cabin to keep the peace, to do what's best for the family. And then you get you some men that's lined up and just make sure that place is stocked full of food and alcohol and you'll be
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play those type of games. And make sure you since you're gonna be in the cabin and you're doing this for him and his family, to make him comfortable. You, make sure he gets you a nice car, paid
Mm-hmm.
for in cash, in your name.
And Trey, I agree with you. The preview for next week was hilarious. Apparently, he only had one key to this cabin and he gave it to her, and she's locked him out. We might be underestimating her.
Good job, Kay. Good job. Stay thinking.
Oh my God. Maybe she went to like studio time or dance practice. You know, she got a bunch of alarms for everything in her career. So maybe she went out and he didn't schedule his visit. But that's what you get for trying to do a pop up.
Right.
Hmm. But we'll see more next week. Those are just, assumptions based on very little footage. But we'll see next week. Oh my God. Anything else with this episode?
No, what she should, but here's what Kay should have done. I know I'm jumping ahead. What she should have done is been messy and hung up a do not disturb sign on the outside, of the cabin. That's what I would have
You're
done.
so stupid.
I'm just
Oh my
saying.
God. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, that was You, Me, and My Ex, season 1, episode 7, Hot Mess Express. Guys, leave your comments below. Share your thoughts on either one of these two episodes. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, tell a friend. And follow us on our social media pages. And join us tomorrow. Tomorrow, Love After Lockup. Everybody come and wear your
I can't wait.
orange.
I can't
Wear your
wait.
orange tomorrow. We gonna be in jail.
I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was another yeah.
It was good. It was good. So
I can't wait
yeah,
to watch it. I'm watching it today.
come ready tomorrow with all your notes so that we can share all of our comments together throughout the chat. Okay. All right, Jamal. Any final thoughts today?
No, we're good. Thank you everyone for coming. You guys have a great day. Replay crew, we appreciate you as always.
All right. So until next time.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.